If you had to choose between holding on to someone who doesn't value you or walking away to finally find yourself, what would you choose? It's easy to say walk away. But when your heart is tangled in the life you built with someone, when your dreams are sewn into their words, the hardest thing in the world is to leave and still love yourself enough to heal. This is the story of Emma, a woman so quiet the world almost missed her fire. She was Grace on the outside, kind, steady, loyal. But inside, she was breaking, quietly, slowly, a little more each year. Because she loved a man who didn't know how to love her back. She gave him her time, her dreams, her soul, and in return, he gave her the bare minimum, just enough to keep her near, never enough to make her feel cherished. The cracks beneath the surface. It wasn't always like that. When Emma met Daniel, he lit up rooms. He made her laugh. He made her believe in someday. She saw the best in him and forgot to see herself. As the years passed, she dimmed so he could shine. She turned down her own promotions, stopped painting, stopped listening to that little voice inside her whispering, "What about me?" Her world became smaller. Not because of a cage, but because of quiet sacrifices. Sacrifices that never got noticed or thanked. He didn't hit her. He didn't scream, but he dismissed her feelings, ignored her pain, forgot her softness, and sometimes that kind of hurt cuts deeper than anything loud. Then came the night that changed everything. Rain against the window, her keys in the door. She walked in and saw him, on the phone, smiling. She's too soft to leave, she'll always be around. He didn't see her standing there. He didn't know those words would echo in her soul forever. It wasn't the betrayal, it was the realization. He never thought she'd choose herself. She sat alone in the dark that night, stared at the woman in the mirror, and whispered, "Where did you go?" That whisper was her awakening. She didn't fight, she rose, with silence, with clarity. She packed her life into 2 suitcases, booked a tiny Airbnb in a city where no one knew her name, and left. No goodbye speech, no final plea, no vengeance, just freedom. Wrapped in silence, and that silence gave birth to something fierce. The beginning was hard. She cried, she doubted, she missed the familiar, even when it hurt. But in that pain, something began to bloom. Herself. She enrolled in the creative writing course she once gave up. Started painting again, reconnected with a childhood friend who remembered her laughter. She found a job she loved, and more than anything, she began to enjoy her own company. She realized she never needed him. She just needed permission to need herself. When he reached out again, 6 months later, Daniel called, not to apologize, not to make things right, but to pull her back. "I miss you. Let's try again. You know no one will love you like I did." Emma didn't cry, she didn't get angry. She just smiled, calm, whole, and she said, "You're right, no one will love me like you did, and that's why I'm never coming back." That moment, she closed the door on her past and never looked back. Becoming unstoppable. 1 year later, Emma stood on a TEDx stage, her voice steady, her story raw, her message powerful. The power of walking away. She didn't speak from bitterness. She spoke from healing. Her words became a lifeline for thousands of women, women who stayed too long, women who forgot their worth. Not with rage, but with hope. So now I ask you again, would you stay with someone who doesn't see your value? Or walk away to find the love you owe yourself? Walking away isn't weakness. It's the loudest way to say, "I am enough." You don't heal by returning to what shattered you. You heal by becoming the person you were always meant to be before they told you you weren't enough. The moment you choose yourself fully is the moment you become unstoppable. Her strength didn't come from what she held onto, but from what she finally let go of.